Morgan, are you able to talk for a bit?
Sure. I just started my lunch break, so now we'll be fine.
Ah, so you're finally able to take your lunch break today, huh? I'm used to you just having to eat your lunch on the go while getting your work done.
Well, this week I have a little bit more flexibility at work, and so I can finally take an hour or so for lunch. Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
Well, actually, I got a message from Mom today.
Is she still going on about the both of us working jobs while married?
Yeah. She asked us if we've been spending time together as husband and wife, even though we're both so busy with work. She then followed up by saying if I'm able to make enough to support us, there's no reason for you to still be working any sort of job. All that stuff. So I just wanted to let you know that she's been on me about it again.
I see. I'm so sorry that every single time you have to be in the middle of all of this.
Well, she is my mom after all, so it's my responsibility to listen to her for you. Much better than the other way around. Imagine if my mom started to text you.
That's true. I even gave her my phone number before, yet I've never gotten any calls or texts from her. But I still feel sorry for you having to act as the mediator at all times.
I'm the one that should be feeling sorry for you. Especially when it only makes sense that right now the two of us work jobs together. I mean, we're still young and don't have any real reason to be stuck at home all day, especially you. And we can save way more money this way as well for when the time comes that we want to have a kid or move houses. But Mom still has her head back in the 60s and thinks that all wives should stay at home and do the chores and cooking.
Then I'd be better off talking to her myself. She might take me so seriously if I'm the one telling her how things are between us.
No, you don't have to do that. If you do that, things will only get more complicated. And at that point, you become overwhelmed, right?
But if she's got a problem with me, then it's better that I talk with her about it directly, right? And I have my own opinions that I'd like to share with her. Don't you think that we could at least all meet and talk about this one time together?
But having to talk with my mom will tire you out a lot, right? And if she thinks that she can start getting your attention with anything she complains about, things like this will only start to happen more often. And besides, you and I working at the same time is something we decided on, right?
I get that, but if you and her keep talking about me and the problem she has, I won't be able to do anything to help you. And you understand that I'm not just going to quit my job after talking to her, right?
Right? That's why you should just leave her alone. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be the one to talk to her about us.
I don't really like that you're the only one that has to deal with her, though. I want to know all the things she's saying about me. And I want to hear her in the moment when she says surprising things to me. I'm at least glad that this time you came to me about what she said. If you were to hide everything she said to me, then at some point when I found out, I'd probably get upset with you.
I can see now why you just want to cut me out and talk to her face to face. Then you don't have to wait for me to tell you about what's going on. I just want my mom to stop getting all worked up about us.
We'll get her to understand us. We'll just have to try a little harder. How about from now on I keep up a bit more on the chores and cooking within our house?
No, you don't have to be the only one that does all the housework when you've already got a job to focus on. I'll make sure to do my fair share of chores and cooking as well, and we'll show my mom that we can make this all work.
That sounds great. And the next time she comes over to our place, let's treat her with even more respect. I want her to know that I'm taking great care of you, and that there's nothing to worry about.
I just feel like we've already been doing our best for a while now.
But don't you want to make sure that your mom understands our lifestyle? I mean, that's what I want to achieve from all of this. And she's your mom.
Thank you, Morgan. But just make sure that you don't overdo it trying to impress her, okay?
I'll take care of myself. I'll make sure to do just as much as I can and nothing more.
On another note, I'm gonna be late coming home tonight.
I see. What about dinner? Do you need it?
I'll eat out tonight before I make it home. That way, I can still get something to eat and it won't be so late for you. So you don't have to cook anything up for me.
Alright. Recently, there has been some black ice forming on the roads at night. So be careful on your drive home.
Will do. And you be careful coming home today as well. Well, let's get back to work.
Thanks again, Brian. Brian, when are you supposed to be home today?
Think around 7 or so.
Even though it's supposed to be your day off from work?
Well, I had a lot of work left over, so I want to make sure that I get it all taken care of.
Then, when do you get home tonight? Do you think we can sit down and talk a little?
Huh? About what?
I'll tell you about it when you're home.
Wait, but I want to know now. Can you at least tell me what the topic will be?
It's about the two of us working.
Is this about the fact that today's meeting was canceled?
Yes. Your mom, she says a lot of things about the two of us working. But there's never been a time where she's told me to not come over to her house.
Maybe she just had some things come up this time. You don't have to get too worked up over her telling you to stay away. Besides, I'm still working a well-paying job right now, so everything's fine.
I'm sure it is fine, but if I were to quit my job now, everything would fall onto your shoulders.
But that's just because you're getting too worried about me, right? And you're at a point right now where you don't want to quit.
Well, I had a thought that if we had a baby, I'd take time off work for a long time. Like maternity leave, right? Well, maybe we should think about having a baby, Brian.
But weren't you super happy to get promoted recently?
I know that.
So, you don't have to give up your job if you don't want to just yet. I want to make sure that you do whatever makes you happy. And that includes if you want to work or not.
But aren't you also worried about your mom being this upset? If we keep trying to do things that upset her all the time, she's going to start to turn away from us. She was so happy when we got married, right? Yet now she seems the complete opposite. Especially when she told me to stay away today.
You're thinking too much about her, Morgan. You really don't have to worry this much about my mom.
But there are some things your mom has said that seem reasonable. Recently, the two of us haven't really had a time to be with each other, right? If I were to quit my job, then I'd have the ability to be around you anytime you're home.
Well, all of that can't be helped right now. I've been really busy with my job, and you have already been trying your best to make your schedule work with mine. None of this means that you have to give up your job for us. So you really shouldn't be getting this upset over what my mom said.
Okay.
As long as you understand that, I'll be happy. Do whatever makes you happy, okay?
I wonder if things will be alright if I just let all of this be.
I'm telling you, everything will be fine. I would be a bit happier if Mom understood our relationship and all that, but I don't think either of us need to change just because we've gotten married.
You have a point.
I know I do. So just know that the way things are right now are just fine.
Understood. But I will think a little bit more about my job. I know that you're in the middle of work still, so Sorry for interrupting you. Thank you for listening anyways.
No, you're good. See you later tonight.
Alright, good luck with work.
Morgan, this is Brian's mom.
What? Stephanie?
I was able to get your phone number from Brian.
Oh, I see. Although I thought I told you it before. Wait, is this really you?
I'm telling you that it's me. If this wasn't me, then who else could it be? I never once said that I was Brian, right?
That's true, I guess. What's been going on?
You shouldn't have to be asking me that. You already know what's been going on, right?
Is this all about Brian and me working?
It is. It seems that no matter how many times I wanted him to get that message to you, you never seem to understand me. And I've been hearing from Brian lately that he doesn't like you as his wife anymore.
What?
And I assumed that if I didn't tell you up front, you wouldn't understand everything, so that's why I decided to finally contact you. Would you please get a divorce from him? A woman that's not willing to quit her job for my son doesn't deserve to be with him. I'm aware that because of everything so far, you are a pretty stubborn woman. So, I don't want you with him anymore.
Huh? Who is this? This is Brian's mother. What do you think you're doing using my name?
Morgan? What are you talking about?
You seem to be the only one messing around right now. I have been watching as Morgan and you have been texting, and she was kind enough to let me see her phone. And so, the person that is texting you right now from her phone is, in fact, me, Stephanie. And so who are you to think that you can call yourself by my name?
What is going on?
And what is going on with you? What are you trying to do here? Right now, I'm sitting here with Morgan. If you'd like, I can give you a call right now and help me get to the bottom of this.
There's absolutely no way. I heard from Brian that Morgan would be out with one of her friends today. So you're the only one that's lying to me right now. Morgan, can you please stop trying to mess around with me like that?
I see now. You're Brian, aren't you?
What?
If it wasn't you, then who else would know about all of this? Unless this happens to be the woman that Brian is having an affair with? Because I know dang well that you've been going out with one of your coworkers behind Morgan's back. Could that mean that the number you're using right now belongs to her?
I have no idea what you're saying.
Oh, Brian! I had called for Morgan to come over to my house. And I made sure to tell her not to get you involved in any of this. That's why she told you that she'd be going out with one of her friends today. And the only person that would know anything about what is going on here is you, Brian. So, you need to stop acting as though you're me right now.
You just don't understand. Morgan and I are quite close to one another.
Is that so? Even though the number you're using to text us isn't one she's familiar with? You know that her and I never text one another, yet she does know my number and I know hers. But you probably thought that you could fake being me because she wouldn't be able to tell if it was really me or not. And try to get her to divorce you?
What are you talking about?
Ryan, I want you to stop all of this right now. I called for Morgan to come over to my house today so that I could tell her that I knew that you have been cheating on her. Brian, you've gone to that city inn outside town a couple of times now, right? I used to work there, you know.
Huh?
So don't think that you can keep all of this hidden from us now, when I know dang well what's been going on with you. Are you listening to me, Brian? Brian, you can't run away from us now. Respond to me right now! Brian!
Hey, Morgan. I'm sorry. I've really thought about everything, and I really did the wrong thing, and I'm sorry.
Then that should mean you'll be willing to sign the divorce paperwork and the settlement I've asked for. And then we can be finished with all of this.
I wanted to talk with you about this a bit more. I don't want to get a divorce.
What? But you were the one at the start that was asking me to divorce you, right? What the hell happened to you to make you change your mind now?
Well, over the past few days, I've had time to think about how much I messed up and that what I was doing wasn't right. I'd like to take one last chance to make things right with you. We haven't even been married for more than a year yet. And I don't want the two of us to be over already because of something as small as this.
Even though you were the one cheating on me when we haven't been married for a year yet? Especially when I know that you planned to leave me behind and then get married to her once we had gotten divorced. You even used your own mom's image to try and make it seem like it was her that wanted us to get divorced. In what way do you think we'll be able to rekindle what we once had after this? Ridiculous.
All of that was just a little foolish of me.
Oh, it sure was. And just the way you tried to handle everything. In order to not make yourself look bad, you used your mom's name so that I wouldn't blame you. Your mom never even cared that I was working a job as well as you in the first place, right?
Yeah,
And the reason that your mom had asked me to stay away, because when we planned to meet, was because of her finding out about you and your girlfriend. She told me that she feels bad about that, but that she was so shocked by the fact that her own son had cheated on his wife.
I'm so sorry, Morgan.
Brian, you're such an idiot. You even started to take her to that hotel that your mom used to work at.
Well, to be honest, I never even knew that my mom was working part-time there for a while.
Well, it wasn't the kind of hotel she wanted you knowing that she worked at. But because of her being on good terms with some of the other staff there, she was able to figure out everything about you. And I'm very thankful for that. If it wasn't for her, I'd be stuck trying to deal with your lies forever. And probably would have never figured out that you were cheating on me.
But I made sure to end everything I had with that one chick.
I think you have that one a little wrong, Brian. You weren't the one that ended everything. Rather, she was the one that ended everything with you. Seems you both had been cheating on someone else. You had to have known that she had a husband as well, right? And that she was doing the same thing as you were, trying to get her husband to divorce her so that she could marry you?
Well, because we were both in the same situation, we thought it was okay to do what we did. Really, I had just assumed when I first took her out that it was going to be a one-time thing, but when we started talking after, we got a bit too far into everything. And now that I look back at myself, I really was an idiot.
You think that by making it a one-time thing, you wouldn't have been hurting me? You already had me pretty messed up thinking that I was the problem for working full-time alongside you while married. I can't believe this had to happen to me.
I'm really sorry about all of this, Morgan.
You just don't want to be seen as the one at fault here, do you? But you had a lot of fun making a bullcrap to try and get me to leave you, right? Was it really that fun for you? I told you that the reason I still wanted to work after marriage because I cared a lot about my job. And that's why you agreed to let me keep working.
Well, Morgan, I just felt that you were... Well, I never thought there was anything wrong with you.
Well, if you had no problems with me, then why did you choose to cheat on me? We're far too in this now, so you have to tell me what was going through your head. What was about me that was so bad?
No, there really wasn't anything wrong with you. I thought you were the perfect wife for me. But out of nowhere, I ended up with another woman and things took off from there. I think that really caused me to start acting funny is all. But now I've come back to it and know who is the most important to me, and that person is you, Morgan.
I honestly don't care if you choose to continue your relationship with her or not. We're getting divorced, so if you can run back to her and ask if she'll take you back.
But I told you I don't want us to get divorced. The person that I've always loved has been you, Morgan.
Oh well, you're really pissing me off when you say that. Because you have literally been cheating on me. Brian, I don't want to hear you saying that you still love me. I know that the only reason you don't want me to leave you is because you'll be asked a settlement from both me and your girlfriend's husband, right? Since you don't have a crap in your savings account, you're going to have to start borrowing money, right?
You're wrong.
Oh, well, if I'm wrong, then I want you to pay me right now. I want it all paid in a single lump sum. Right now.
But I just don't want a divorce.
Even if we don't get divorced, I still want you paying me for the damages you've caused. So no matter what path we go down to, you're still going to be paying me.
Are you sure?
Don't just think that because we wouldn't get a divorce, I wouldn't have still you paying a settlement. You hurt me, and that's enough. So you take responsibility for that so we can end all of this.
Alright, I get it now. I'll make sure to pay you for everything, but please just don't throw me away.
What are you talking about now? You were the one that chose to throw me away first, right? And so that's why I'm only doing as you wished and am getting a divorce from you. Even your mom wanted me to divorce you, so I have no other choice but to leave you behind. Once I had been finished talking with Brian, I started the process of leaving him, but things came to a halt. Luckily, his mom stepped in and helped me. She gave me a lot of evidence that he had been with that other woman. And so in the end, the divorce was finalized. As for the girl that he was with, that worked in the same company as him, she ended up quitting her job there and ran back to her parents' house. She hasn't been quite divorced by her husband yet, but I can tell that he's itching for it, so he's working towards divorce right now. Of course, I've been paid by both my ex and now his girlfriend after what they did. And since we had only been married for a little under a year, the amount of money that I got in the divorce from Brian was insufficient. So having the settlement there to back me up made sure that I got all the money I truly deserved. Also, after his girlfriend left the company that they both worked in, the rumor of their time together began to start spreading fast. And as was expected, most of the people there didn't expect something like this to come from Brian. So when they all heard the news, they were just as shocked as his own mom. Just seeing my ex's life start to get turned upside down now after his mistakes makes me feel a little bit more refreshed inside. I think he'll now be dealing with all of his regrets by himself, and he'll have to start finding ways to really pay off the money that he had to borrow. After this divorce, I've been a bit down about what it really meant to be married to a guy like Brian in the first place. But haven't been able to see the true disgrace that he was before. We had more years behind us, and was a great thing for me. I'm still keeping a sort of shallow relationship with Stephanie now, but I hope she knows deep down that I'm so happy for the help she gave me during this hard event. After the divorce, she is no longer considered my mother-in-law, but I think from now on I'd like to talk more with her. So I'll be asking her to go out with me more often. I'd like to learn more from a woman like her and use that knowledge to better protect myself with the next man I may meet someday. Well, for now, I'm going to keep living my life as a single working woman, and will do everything I can to forget that man Brian.